Yo, what's up, YouTube? I'm outside just chilling. We walking right now because, I work overnight, so I don't really get to enjoy the sun, so it's nice to be out here, take a stroll. I just came on to talk about a couple things. Here, hold on, give me a second. How you doing?
Oh man, it's getting warm.
Yes, sir. But man, y'all. So I had a call with my mentor, a group call with my mentor, and pretty much the call was just how to think when going into the markets, right? Well, first off, before I really get into it, I apologize for not posting in a minute, but I've been working and I do have some recordings, but honestly, a lot of it's just me sitting on my hands. So I haven't really posted those just because I felt like that'd be boring as hell. Just me sitting on my hands. So, hold up. But yeah, no, pretty much it was how we come to the market, right? I know if you've been watching my past videos, they pretty much have just been, talking about waiting, taking the right trades, not rushing, stuff like that. And it's the same stuff you hear over and over and over again. Because, at the end of the day, that's how simple it is. Just, you can't rush. I know a lot of people join trading because they want the money now, but you can't rush it. Looking back at my progress with my funded account, my first funded account I passed, and within that first week of passing, I failed it. Well, within that first week, I blew half of the account. And then pretty much it took about 6 to 8 months to blow the other half. And that was because I just lowered my risk. That's it. And I was more picky. I was pickier with my trades. That's why it took me so long to blow it. But I ended up blowing it. All right. And well, with this new express funded account that I'm using now, I realized that when I am meticulous and really picky about my trades, I end up winning them. When I'm patient, I end up winning them, right? It isn't until I get impatient and have the urge to just jump in the market and trade, just to trade. It isn't until I get to that point when I start losing. And that's what I came to a realization. Even today I traded and I took a loss today, right? It was only $100. I was only risking about a quarter of the account. And, well, I was iffy about the trade. Even before I got in, I was like, I don't know if I should take this trade or not. And I said, fuck it. And I took the trade. Ended up losing. But if I was more picky and sat on my hands, today would have been a no trade day, but I wouldn't have lost anything. So that's a big thing to think about. It's okay to be picky, and when you feel the urge to just jump in the trade just to be in the markets, you probably shouldn't. I know before this I was struggling with jumping in the markets because I didn't want to lose. And that's another thing, you got to be okay with losing. But I remember before I blew the account, I told my mentor, I was like, okay, well, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to enter in a trade just to enter in a trade, you know, to get over my fear. Like, fuck it. And he was like, well, yes, but also no. Like, you want to say yes, fuck it, but the trade needs to make sense. And that's the whole point. Like, back to what I was saying originally, I noticed that when I was being really picky, and I mean really picky, like, I only took like 3 trades for the month, picky. I won all 3. And I had a positive month. And the 1 month that I decided, okay, let me get in, that's when I became negative for the month, right? Because I'm in a group chat with a whole bunch of other people who are taking trades every day. You know, some are winning, some are losing, but it's like me being in that group once, you know, makes me want to take a trade because everyone else is winning and I want to win, right? But that's like the opposite. It's kind of weird. Also, y'all, I need to lose some damn weight. I ain't gonna lie. I'm over here low-key breathing kind of heavy and shit. I'm barely just fucking walking. Damn. Should be wildin'. Anywho, besides the point of that. I mean, I ain't really got nothing else to say. Again, I need to be more consistent. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm gonna try to change my schedule to where I got day shifts. And I can actually have my mornings. I could be more consistent with scheduling and shit. My videos that I post on here. Like, even my social medias and stuff too. But this isn't going to be a super long video. It's just me thinking it's okay to wait. When you feel antsy, that's the emotion that you need to notice. When you start feeling antsy, when you start feeling like, man, I want to get into a trade, like I want to be in the markets, but I also want to be in profits. But that feeling is something that you need to recognize. You know, you need to practice mindfulness to be able to sit there and look at the charts, but also be able to sit there and monitor yourself. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's you against you. You know, I lost $100 today. I could have lost nothing and been okay with not taking a trade because it didn't match my setup. But I wanted to be risky. I wanted to be risky today. And I ended up being on the wrong side of the market. So, again, the trade could have played out. Right? The trade could have played out and I could have been in profits and I could have won today. Cool. But at the end of the day, I was still unsure about the trade before I took it. And that's the thing that kind of rubbed me wrong after I lost, is that I was unsure about the trade. All my other trades that I took before, and I've showed them plenty of times in the previous videos that I've done, where I'm up profitable months. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not crazy profitable. Like $500 profit for the month. I think the other one was like $300 profit for the month. Or something like that. But, you know, the more capital you have, the bigger your profits are going to be, of course. So, trading off of 50K. That's one thing I was telling my mentor, is that, like, okay, well, if I had a bigger account and I still was being very picky and still only took like 3 trades for the month. Instead of it being profitable $500 for the month, I could have been profitable $5,000 for the month. Right now, that's where it's like, oh well, 5K for the month. I think that's good. Just straight from trading. Fuck, man. All right, I'm only taking 3 trades a month. I'm fine with that, right? But that same mindset I have to have with a small account. And it's okay to be picky and sit on my hands, you know, but we're here to practice longevity, right? We're here to practice consistency. I'm not here to try to get a trade in every day, because I understand with how I trade personally that I'm not going to have a setup every day. But where I'm stumbling currently is, okay, I don't have a setup today. This one looks all right. And, you know, there's some stuff that's kind of going against it, but fuck it, let me take it. And that's where it's like, okay, well, hold up. Why not just wait for a better trade to present itself instead of just taking this kind of B plus, you know, B setup? Yeah, I don't know, y'all. Just know that we're all going through the same journey, and I'm doing this right now on the recording so that I can at least have something on the YouTube. But don't rush it, y'all. Don't rush it. Okay, don't rush it. Honestly, if you're working a full-time and you're trading, just, if your full-time can support you, let that support you, and don't worry about the trading. How do I flip this camera around? I wanted to show you guys a car that I want to get. Let's see if you can see it right here. A Maserati. Let's go. I've been wanting a Maserati. They just, I like the front. They look sick. But anywho, or a big truck, because you know we in Texas. So, but there's no need to rush it, y'all. I know that maybe some people are in a different predicament than I am, or other people, of course. But rushing it is probably the worst thing you can do, because then you're going to be forcing setups and taking stuff that doesn't really look good. And that could just lead to you losing more. And the irony is that you'll lose some on bad trades, and then when you see a good setup, you're going to be hesitant on the good setup because you've already lost a couple bad trades. So you're hesitant on the good setup, you don't take it, and then it plays out in your direction. Then you get mad and you try chasing, and then you decide to get back in on a bad setup and then lose the bad setup, and it's a cycle that repeats itself over and over. And that's one thing that we're trying to stop, right? So my biggest advice, learn from my mistakes, of course, and through my experiences, is that be picky with your trades. Wait for the setup to form that you normally like taking. You know, back test, not only that, but journal your trades so that you know what works. You know, journal your trades so you know what doesn't work. And when you feel the urge to take a bad trade, just look at your losses. Look at your losses, man. Because, like, I had asked my mentor that too. I said, man, I took a $1,300 loss, man. Like, I felt like doing this, you know, full porting and this and this. And I asked him, what do I do if I feel like that again? And he looked at me and said, bro, well, realize the last time you did that, you lost $1,300. I was like, well, you got a point. You got a point there. He goes, and look, when you don't do that and you're risky, and you're not risky, excuse me, you end up making you know, you end up making money. I had an 80% win rate off of me being picky. And that's how we got to keep it at the end of the day. How you doing? But understand that you're not alone. Okay? Understand that you are not alone. All right? There's a lot of people that are trading. There's a lot of people that are unprofitable. There's a lot of people that are break even. There's a lot of people that are profitable. And there's a lot of people that are making money trading. And if they can do it, you can do it too. Okay? You just got to realize that you're where you are where you are because of you. If you're tired of getting the same results, you need to change. Nothing around you is going to change. You need to change. Even if you move somewhere else or change your environment, you'll still find out that things are similar. The same stuff is happening. Because at the end of the day, it's you that need to change. Realize your mistakes and change yourself. This is not an easy game. And that's the hardest part about trading, is realizing that it's not the markets, but it's the mind that you bring into the market. It's your own mind. Learn to accept losses. Learn that losses are part of the game. And be okay with losing. Because if you're not okay with losing, that's a whole other world of shit. I'm trying to think of some other things. But yeah, no, I mean, I took an L today on a trade that was iffy. And I could have not taken that trade, and I could have just been picky, and I would have been okay for the day, but here we are. I was only risking 0.25%, so it's nothing too crazy. But, you know, I came back from an 8% win rate, 9%. I was only winning 9% of the time. And I came back from that. I had these losing streaks of 20 plus trades. And you know what that shit does to the fucking mental? It fucks you up. But I'm still fucking here, alright? And that's the point. I'm still here and I haven't given up. And you can do the same. Alright? You can do the same. You gotta be okay with taking a loss. You gotta be able to recuperate your losses. It's just another day, it's just another trade. If you took a loss, oh well, you restart anew. Don't hold on to it. But yeah, that's all I got for right now. I'm gonna again try to be more consistent with posting videos on YouTube, but you know, we'll see how that goes. With that being said, I'm out. Latest.